Welcome to Radio Labyrinth, the Gen X pop culture podcast that covers any and all things movie, TV, radio, and podcasts and all sorts of stuff like that. As long as we like them, I'm your host, Tim Andrews, joined this week by all of our co-hosts, Jeff Leboff, Stephanie Swain, and Dustin Lawler. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Yes. Pardon me?
I said hello.
Hello. I got my Bills hat on because they managed to eke out a win the other day. Almost blew it again on another wonderful, what do they call those, Hail Mary passes at the end? But that team sucks. And,
well, all your quarterbacks weren't out with COVID, like the Broncos?
Oh, but that game was insane. Wasn't it the Broncos? And who were they playing? I forget.
They were playing the Saints.
Yeah, that's right. They played the Saints with their with Taysom Hill, who is like a low rent. I don't even know what he is. But the Denver Broncos, man, I watched the first quarter because I thought this is going to be exciting. It wasn't exciting at all. It was horrible. It was terrible football, and fuck the NFL for allowing that to go forward. Now I don't know what they were doing because the Steelers last week were supposed to play the Thursday night game, Thanksgiving game, and the NFL said no, COVID violations or COVID testing or whatever. So they moved the game. But with the Denver Broncos and the Saints, they made the Broncos play. So I don't understand it. I tried to get somebody to explain it to me today, and nobody could. So
was it the Steelers or the Ravens that got fined $500,000?
I think it was the Ravens.
For mask violations.
For not wearing them. But did you watch a game?
And they lost 2 draft picks or something like that.
Yeah, that's bullshit. That's such bullshit. But it's the NFL having to kiss ass of all these people who run states that don't allow people to do things. So,
well, I mean, don't you think really they should have just skipped the shit? They should have skipped it this year.
No, I don't think they should have skipped it because no one who's in the NFL who's tested positive for COVID has gotten sick, as far as I know.
No, I don't mean like that. I mean, just the whole feeling of it is. Nah.
No, it's more entertaining to watch NFL on TV without a crowd than it is to watch baseball without a crowd. Because baseball is just pastoral and kind of slow moving, and it's like, I don't know, watching Pong or watching somebody play a game on Twitch now, I think. But I don't know, like in certain states they had people, if you're in the South and you're in certain states, you can have a limited crowd. But Atlanta, no, because Atlanta mayor's like, no way. You know what I mean? It won't look good. Whatever.
Well, the 49ers, are they even allowed back in the state? Or are they going to have to go somewhere else for a couple of weeks?
I don't know. They play in Arizona.
They can't play there.
Go to the old Raider Stadium.
But I mean, if you go back, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait. So San Francisco, is that true? They're not allowed to play in their own stadium?
Right.
Yep. So where are they going to play?
Like I said, Arizona. But where are they going to practice? That's what they're trying to figure out now. And how do they even go back? Because if you go back, you're supposed to quarantine for 2 weeks.
They shouldn't go back then. And then any revenue that California just loves losing money. But that's okay. I don't want to talk about it. So before we get to what?
And football is played on a gridiron.
Right. You guys follow us on Patreon, or become a Patreon member if you would like. Go to patreon.com/Tim Andrews. We have all sorts of new merch, which you can find at our store. The links are there, and the links are in the show notes. And we have new masks. So you can wear your masks all through next year, which is what you're going to do, whether you like it or not. Ha. Do as you're told. That's what I've been saying. Do as you are told. I am Dr. Fauci, and you will do as you're told. I
don't like the Fauci elf on the shelf telling me to put my mask on.
Put your mask. I see you're not wearing your mask. Your social credit score is going to go down. You can follow us on Facebook. Facebook.com/Radio Labyrinth. Join the Radio Shack, which is curated by Dustin. Or you can follow us on Twitter at @radio_Labyrinth. So how was everybody's Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving dinner from the Companion.
From who?
From the Companion, the restaurant that chef, we put out his first episode of his podcast.
Oh, so how was it? Good?
Yeah, it's fucking delicious.
So, okay. Did you get some pumpkin pie?
Probably the best turkey ever. No, I forgot to get a pie. So I didn't have any pie or desserts, but the food was amazing. It was like smoked turkey breast, and then there was turkey leg confit. So I had both dark meat and white meat.
Oh.
We gave you a little cranberry sauce. gravy, sage gravy, cornbread dressing. Yeah, it was fucking awesome.
We had Heinz gravy. Steph, how was your vacation? Or I'm sorry, your Thanksgiving.
Oh, it was fine. We ended up staying home because somebody that I rode up in the elevator the day before at work tested positive for COVID. So we were worried we'd kill my in-laws. So we just said, fuck it, we're just not going to go. But we sent them a nice brunch from La Madeleine, which they were very happy about. And I don't even remember, what did we eat? We had pie. We had pie and some other things. I don't really remember. I haven't stopped eating since Thursday, so every day has been Thanksgiving.
I just had pie.
Send us a picture of a piece of pie.
There's this place, it's called the Web Gin, the diner at Web Gin, and they make this peanut butter pie that's ridiculous. It's piled up like, it's like 2 foot high. Where
is this place?
It's right off, it's in the, what is soon to be looking like the old Gwinnett Place Mall, the Web Gin Avenue there, which there's no stores in there anymore.
Yeah, it's getting there.
It's not very good. So, but yeah, the diner, I've never had their food. I'll just go in there randomly and get some 12-layer slice of cake. That's like $8 for a slice of cake. But
just owned by Greeks.
Oh, it's it's your traditional Greek diner.
Yeah, because Greeks make those gigantic desserts, huge slices. Here you go, my friend. Yes, thank you.
Well, that's why they're the fattest country in the world.
Yeah. How about you, Dustin? What'd you do?
Like I said, we stayed home. The mother-in-law came. We actually ordered our meal from Cracker Barrel. We got the ordered in advance. Yeah, it wasn't fried; it was smoked. But yeah, it comes with everything. Big, nice box, and heat everything up, and it was really good. And ate on it for a couple of days, and I think we still got some in there.
I ate on 3 days from that dinner I got.
Jeff, that restaurant, The Companion, is that named after the whore on Firefly?
I don't know where you got the name.
Whore on Firefly. Let's see. I cooked everything. I got up early. Then a day and a half before, I started brining the turkey. So I think I brined it too long because it was really salty on the outside. But, salty and crisp skin is really good. And then I did everything with butter. I took the turkey baster and put the butter on it, whatever they call that. I forget. I want to say sauteed, but it's not it. What do you call it when you drizzle?
Baste it.
Yeah, I was basting it with butter. See, easy for the stuffing. It was stovetop stuffing, but I cooked Italian sausage on the side and then mixed it in and put celery in there as well. Mashed potatoes and it was something with butternut squash and Brussels sprouts.
That looked very intriguing to me. I saw that.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah, that looked good. That looked really good.
It tasted good, and it had it was supposed to have roasted pecans on it, but I burned them, so the pecans went in the trash.
I would eat the burnt pecan. You don't like burnt?
No, they were really burnt. Like they're black.
Gotcha.
What else did we have? I bought a pumpkin pie. But it was pretty good, and we ate off it. And then yesterday morning, I made chili with whatever was left of the turkey. So I made this spicy jalapeno white bean turkey chili, and it was really good.
That does sound good.
Yeah,
our meal came with a couple of pies, but one of them was a pecan pie, but it had chocolate chips all in it.
Yum!
And that was the first I'd ever seen that before. And it was amazing. And I don't even like pecan pie.
My stepmom always made chocolate pecan pie.
It's the first time I'd ever had it. And I normally don't like pecan pie at all. But that was amazing. That's the way I'm having it from now on, for sure.
You ever had hickory nut pie?
No.
I'm afraid to answer. No.
No. There's a hickory nuts grow. My grandparents and I used to go pick them, or they would, make me pick whatever they knocked out of the tree. And they're little white nuts inside of this giant thing, like this big shell around them. You got to take that off.
Like a tight sack, like
the Bryan nuts. Right, they're like Bryan nuts.
Tight sack.
Yeah, they come in that tight. Hey, honey, you got any Bryan nuts? We'll get to that in a second. Talk about Johnny Brennan and the Jerky Boys. But and so one time my grandmother made a pecan pie, but used those, and it was really, really good. Anyway, who cares, right? Let's see. So that was our Thanksgiving, but like I said, the chili came out really, really well. I was very pleased with that.
Jim kept trying to get me infected by telling me to come over and pick up a plate from his house, but I was like, no way.
Get out of here. That's not what I was trying to do. I just, making sure you had food, So Friday night, I ended up watching the Jerky Boys live stream with Johnny Brennan and his manager, whose name I forgot. Did you sign on to that, Jeff? I didn't see you in the room. Because for like 4 hours before it started, people were in the chat room just doing quotes. So it was Jerky Boys quotes, one after the next, and it was pretty fun. Let me see my new iPad. I'm looking at my notes here. So basically what it was a live show. It was like Gotham. They put these things on, and then you can, like, next week they have, oh God, what's her name? Marilyn Ricegood is doing a stand-up show, and you can pay to watch, like any of these comedians do the shows. I'm not going to do that one though, but, yeah, it was pretty neat. And, you could tell he always looks anxious, don't you think, when you see him? He sounded anxious on our show when we interviewed him as well. Yeah.
Did he do any calls during the show?
Well, here's what they did. The manager guy ran it, and Johnny just answered questions. And they tried to do some live pranks, but nobody answers their phones anymore. And if you don't recognize the number, you're not going to pick it up. Even if you do, most people don't answer the phone. I'll call them later. Or I'll text them back. What did you want?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I saw some of the comments on there, and that was the one thing. It was like nobody answered their phone.
Yeah. Did you watch it?
No. I just was looking at the comments afterwards because I realized it was already on after the fact.
You'd have to call restaurants.
Yeah, you have to call businesses because they're the only people that answer the phones. Restaurants are fun to prank, like Pudgy's Pizza up in the Twin Tiers area of Pennsylvania, New York. They're fun to prank. I've heard a lot of good ones done to them. They played a bunch of classic calls, and then Johnny would explain how they happened and where they came from. And then they played some off of the new record. The two that I like, there's three actually I like on the new record. Have any of you listened to it yet?
Yeah, I listened to it.
I like Perry's Slacks. And he doesn't really address who that is, but he calls this guy Perry, and he's Frank Rizzo, and he's talking about slacks, and and it's Perry Cavallaro. Yeah, you guys know who Perry Caravello is
from that movie,
Windy City Heat. Yeah. That's the Jimmy Kimmel people and Bobcat and Steve Buscemi. And then Frank Rizzo's leg braces; those are pretty funny. He calls
that was a good one.
Indian dentist, and these are fucking braces. And then this other call is Saul Rosenberg. Saul, and he calls Boonies. He's looking for a Brazilian blowjob, and I'm coming down there to get my Brazilian blowjob.
And we only do that for women.
That's false advertising. So he said the two things I took away from it is he recorded most of these calls in his car outside of a police station in his town, and he has an autographed photo of Alex Trebek. Now, I don't know if it's real or not. He says it is, but the photo is signed, Frank, looking forward to having you on the show. If you can't whip out answers, I'm liable to punch your fucking mouth loose, Alex.
I've seen this picture before.
Yeah, I don't know if that's real. Maybe it's real, but it's a reference to testing for Jeopardy on Jerky Boys 4. You've heard that before?
Yeah, I've seen that picture.
Oh, my God. Do you think you really did that?
I think so.
Wow.
He was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And he had all those prank phone calls that came to him over the years from Longmont Potion Castle. So didn't watch the parade either Thursday morning. I forgot to mention that.
I watched a little of it, but it was boring.
It's
no,
not boring.
No crowd or anything.
Yeah, but the music's always shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it didn't feel like – it felt like Thanksgiving, but it didn't feel like Thanksgiving because I wasn't stressed out, for one thing. And for another thing, I didn't have to go anywhere. So we just, like I said, we stayed home. And
we got on YouTube. We got on YouTube and watched the 1987
that must have been fun.
Parade.
Garfield.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
Mr.
Garfield. All the entertainment tonight. John Tesh.
The one where they stabbed Barney. That happened at a Thanksgiving parade. The Barney got out of control, and a bunch of people ran over and started stabbing it with knives in front of everybody.
I love you.
No, the best Barney song is I'm going on a camera safari to see what we can see.
We're going on a camera safari to see what we can see.
I don't know that one. I never really got into that show.
That's the Barney aficionado.
I liked Barney. Yeah, my goddaughter was little at the time whenever it was really popular, so I knew all the songs.
Everybody watched The Mandalorian. I suppose we'll talk about that in a minute.
I see that though you watched The Invisible Man and you hated it, as did I.
Oh my God, what a fucking... Oh yeah, Caitlin and I have been talking about watching it, and we wanted to watch it. Now, there's some scare scenes in it, and she doesn't like scary movies, so, I mean, it was effective in that way. But it was like the worst story ever. You don't know why the guy is an asshole. You don't know any of their previous relationships, and I don't care if I'm spoiling, but it was just fucking stupid. There was no point to it.
Oh, yeah, I didn't like that it was a suit and like not, you know.
Oh, well, I figured that was a modern way of doing it. He's an optics thing, and I get that. I get where you're coming from. I like the original where it's like, what was it, an elixir or a potion? Or something?
It was a potion. Yeah.
The movie where the little portion of, I forget which movie it was, Kentucky Fried Movie or the other one, where Ed Begley Jr. is the Invisible Man, but everyone can see him, so they just cater to him and they pander. He's running around naked. I'm invisible. That was better than The Invisible Man with Elizabeth Moss. I just didn't understand it. Was this some sort of feminist trope? What was it about?
I don't get it either. People made
this a domestic violence movie.
There, I didn't see any. But Steph, what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, I mean, people made such a big deal about it. I mean, they went on and on and on. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And then, I was like, well, I got to see it. And I watched it and was like, this movie sucks ass. Yeah. And what's the deal with it? Okay, the thing that bothered me, so her sister comes to get her and then just drops her off at this dude's house. How is that dude related to the sister? Were they friends? She's a lawyer. The guy's a cop. His daughter's there. I mean, Elizabeth Moss' character doesn't even know this person, and she's giving the girl paying for her scholarship. It didn't make any sense. Yeah, the whole thing was stupid. Yeah, well.
Because it came out right when COVID or when lockdown started. And it was like, oh, it's something on, it's a new movie that's not going to be at the theater. So this is how it's going to be now. I think that accounted for most of its popularity.
It was no Joe Exotic, that's for sure.
No.
Hell no, I'd rather watch Joe Exotic again and again and again than watch that one more fucking time.
But Heat?
Oh, why? Because it was a couple months ago? I resisted it because, I want to see Elizabeth Moss pout and mug the camera for 4 hours. I'll just watch 4 episodes of Handmaid's Tale because that's all she does.
Which they are finally filming again. Finally.
I hope they're wearing masks.
Well, they did wear masks in the last season, if you recall.
That's right. Some of them. They're working in the, whatever that's called, the Badlands. Well, I do like that show, so I look forward to that returning. Let's see. I did get. I haven't watched the Fargo finale. That's the one I have to watch yet. Jeff, you probably have seen them all.
Yeah, I did watch it.
Yeah. The next to the penultimate. Is that how you say it? Pentultimate. The next to last.
The next to last.
The last one.
That was pretty freaking good. I loved it when the rednecks pull up on the little kid, Chris Rock's kid, and they're like, "What are you doing, boy?" And he pulls the revolver on him. Get the fuck out of here.
That kid turns out to be a big deal, so you got to watch the finale.
Are we right with our spoilers or with our predictions?
Who, Mike TV?
Yeah, well, no, I wouldn't know. Speaking of Mike TV, you can, the most recent episode is available, if you didn't know that already. They are bi-weekly. I found that out. I guess I should have known. And I guess Dean has a new podcast with a buddy of his. The name of it eludes me, so when I remember it, I'll plug it
on Twitter, but I forget what it is.
But yeah, that was a good show. So I can't wait to watch the finale. Maybe I'll watch it tonight. I don't know. Steph, what's going on in the world of entertainment shit? Before you get to that, did you guys watch that Mike Tyson fight?
I did not.
I forgot about it. I was going to get it. I'm glad I didn't because it ended up being
exhibition fight.
What's that?
It was only a 2-round exhibition fight, so it wasn't like a real boxing match.
Yeah, but they had a good undercard with that YouTube guy, Jake Paul, and he fought an ex-NBA player and knocked him out. But Tyson admitted that I smoked weed before the fight and after the fight. I smoke weed all the time. And both of those guys, who was it, Roy Jones Jr.? They're both out of breath. I wouldn't fight him, though.
Dean's new podcast is called Hyperdrive.
Hyperdrive. So it's about Star Wars.
I haven't listened to it yet. So,
All right.
what all they're talking about on there yet?
So what's going on, Steph?
This is really garbage news. Amazon canceled Utopia, which I don't understand at all. This was a great show. It was just getting started, I felt.
Who's in it and what's it about?
John Cusack.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, wait, the no season 2?
Nope.
Right.
Oh, fuck that. That show did really well, too. It was good. What the hell? They got too close to the truth. That's what's happening.
That could be what it was.
He's literally Bill Gates, that guy. John Cusack played.
Well, I really felt like, the end of the first season, it was great. And it was setting it up for so much more story to come. It was such a weird show.
Mm-hmm.
Something different. I really enjoyed it. And I thought everybody that was in it was great.
I wonder what we can do to stop that from happening. Could we bitch and moan? Could we start a thing? Did they say why they're canceling it?
There was some people in the comments that were saying that the ratings weren't that great.
Oh, okay.
So
ratings don't matter anymore. There's plenty of shit on TV that has low ratings and is still on television. But whatever.
I know, man.
That was a good show, man. We ought to find out if there's something we could like maybe start a letter writing campaign.
Well, just cool your jets because everything's going to be all right because Pepsi is rolling out apple pie flavored soda for the Christmas season.
This isn't one of those Japan only things you're talking about.
It's not Japan only. It's a social media contest situation where you can't buy this in the store, but if you bake a pie and epically fail, they want you to take a picture of it, of your horrible pie, and then you're going to send it to their Twitter, their Instagram, and if they pick you, then you'll win some of this nasty ass soda.
We'll give you some disgusting apple pie flavored Pepsi if you do free advertising for us for 2 weeks and pimp the shit out of Pepsi. That's your reward. Shitty soda that doesn't really taste like apple pie. How lucky are you?
Now they say that it does kind of taste like apple pie. It's got like the hints of the pastry and the cinnamon, and it does have that. So
people eat apple pie because they want to feel the apples in their teeth and the crust and the sauce and the cinnamon. I mean, when you eat something like apple pie, you feel it in your mouth. I mean, that's part of the whole enjoyment of apple pie. Putting a piece of cheddar cheese on it, if you like that. You ever do that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's
like that.
Yeah, the cheddar cheese on the apple pie, that's some good shit.
Has to be super sharp cheddar cheese, though.
Like, the sharper, the better. Yeah.
Yep. That Wisconsin white stuff, just... Ugh.
My poppy, he loved cheese on apple pie.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
True.
Pepsi, they kind of jumped on the bandwagon of everybody trying to hit these holiday flavor notes, like pumpkin, Kraft have the pumpkin spice mac and cheese.
Oh,
vomit.
No, thank you.
No, thanks. It's bad enough it tastes like soap.
And Waffle House, which I didn't know Waffle House had beer.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah, they do. I heard it's really good.
Bacon flavored beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're getting involved in all that mess. So I don't know. You can give it a shot if you want to. Bake a crappy pie. Send a picture. Maybe you'll win some of this garbage.
I don't want anything. Jones Sodas started this whole thing, remember?
Yeah,
Jones.
Thanksgiving dinner flavored sodas.
And those were gross. So
Agreed. Well, Tim, I can't wait to see what your interpretation of a Spike Lee musical about Viagra might be like.
Spike Lee joint. Who wrote that on there?
A spiked Lee joint.
A spiked Lee joint. Screw the right thing. Or no, screw the tight thing. A musical about Viagra, and who's going to be in it, have they said?
They haven't cast it yet. I mean, when are they even going to have it? Or are they going to have it like in a field?
I'm sure they'll rise to the occasion.
There's going to be so much of that.
It's going to be hard to make. I hope it doesn't flop. They're really going to have to come together to pull it off.
Oh, double entendre.
I'm not at work. I can do all the wordplay I like. I'm not allowed to do puns and wordplay on the Von Nessler doctrine, so sorry about that. I wonder if it'll be in a sack.
Well, I don't understand exactly. I haven't read the story, and I'm not really sure what has inspired him to do this. But
She's got to have it, Steph. That's what it is.
Yeah.
She's got to have it. He's got to take a pill.
I'm going to take a stab in the dark, but I'm going to say he started taking Viagra. That's what's probably what caused him to
10 years
write this
ago.
musical.
How old is he? 60, 65?
Yeah. So he finally took it. That was the problem. He was holding out. Saw how great it was, and now he's writing a musical.
Oh, then
I'm guessing this is kind of like when people went to go see the vagina monologues or puppetry of the penis or some whatever niche weirdo thing.
Vagina mile.
But I know you like musicals. I hate them. So I would just love to see in your spare time, Tim, maybe if you could just craft a song for this musical.
Craft a song for it.
That we could pitch to Spike Lee. Because, he doesn't have the music or anything yet.
I was wondering the other day when I was in the bathroom looking at a magazine. There was a lady with pretty boobs and I started tugging on my wiener. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. The blood wouldn't flow where it needs to go. So I went to my doctor and said, "It's dead." My doctor said, "No, your dick ain't dead. I got a little pill. It's all in your head. Take a little blue pill and swallow it down. You'll be hard in no time and ready to fuck around." Oh, no. There you go.
Bravo.
There you go.
I mean, for you to do that on the fly, I think if you sat down and really, you could. I think you could sell him a song. I'm not even kidding. This was a joke. Now I think it's real.
Is threatening to leave me because I can't get an erection. I wish my penis would work again. I can't think of anything else.
Just blow the dick down.
Marius, you're soft. What's wrong today? You look as if you've seen a naked fat woman. Some Viagra and say, "What's going on?" Well, anyway, I wish him well. What, Jeff?
He could blue himself and play the pill.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Those kids on the new reboot of Saved by the Bell, they better never talk about Selena Gomez's kidney transplant on their show.
What?
You better put some respect on Selena's name.
Selena Gomez had a kidney transplant. Is that what happened?
Well, she had lupus.
Okay.
Right?
That's a good movie, Lupus.
The new Saved by the Bell reboot, you know about that?
Yeah, I do.
I watched part of
Is Mark Paul Gosselaar on it?
Yeah, he's the governor of California now.
Oh, God.
Well, so the premise of this episode was that their phones didn't work. So therefore, they weren't able to check any facts. So they had to just try and suss out stuff if what the actual truth is, because they couldn't consult their phone. And one of the kids started saying that Selena Gomez's kidney came from Justin Bieber's mom. And they were all making fun of it, basically. And so everybody went crazy. Like, how dare you make fun of her kidney and all that. So Peacock had to come out and issue a formal apology.
They didn't have to, but they did.
Selena's kidney.
Oh, Jesus. Somebody apologize. The kidney doesn't give a fuck.
So anyway, that was their first foray into the big time world of, not talking smack. But what do you do when you get out of prison for cheating on a college and getting your kid into school? What do you do? What's the first thing you do? You get a comedy on ABC with that peanut butter falcon Down syndrome kid and act like he's your son and that you own a baseball team. That's what Felicity Huffman's doing.
Okay. Well, she's on sports.
To get him into college.
So that's her. I think it's an odd choice, but maybe she just wants to do something totally different. So it's a single camera comedy where her husband dies and she has to take over the minor league baseball team, and her son has Down syndrome, peanut butter falcon, and he's a baseball aficionado.
I like that kid a lot, though. I would probably watch that show just because he was great in Peanut Butter Falcon.
I don't know. I'm not. I don't want to be this way, but I watched. Remember that show, My Life or whatever it was?
Corky?
With Corky.
Corky. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That gets old. It gets old. Episode after episode of him getting on the bus, and he can ride the bus by himself, and celebration of humanity. I mean, whatever. Maybe I'm alone on that. I'm sorry, guys.
I'm just not going to comment on it.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
I like that kid. I'm give that show a chat.
Well,
you think this was just a PR move for her? Like,
you think so?
Do something wholesome. You know, put yourself in a good light again after the bad PR in prison. Yeah.
Well, who could hate the mom of a kid who has Down syndrome, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
A single mom whose husband just died. So, yeah, whoever advised her on this, her agency, they're pretty smart, sounds like.
Wasn't that show called Life Goes On?
Yeah.
Life goes on.
Yes.
Yeah. Obla da.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, that's it. That's all I got.
You know what? Listen, if this were a morning radio show 30 years ago, we would have had a lot of fun with that. But unfortunately, it's not a morning radio show from 30 years ago. So we're not going to have a lot of fun with that. We're just going to wish Felicity Huffman well. And frankly, she should have never gone to jail. Did she go to jail, or did she work out a deal?
Jail. No, she went to jail.
No, she did.
Should have gone to jail. I don't think she should go to jail. I don't think Aunt Becky should have gone to jail. I think that they were just being punished for being rich white women. And that's just my theory. Yeah? I don't know. I mean, send the Massimo guy to jail for making those ugly clothes.
He went to jail. He went to jail the longest.
Oh, good. Well, he deserved it because he made those ugly clothes that you can get at Target.
Did you see him? He grew out his
Not
beard
anymore.
and his hair, so he didn't look all like a slick, sexy Italian man, so he wouldn't get raped daily, I guess. He tried to make himself look like a Unabomber.
Now it's just bi-weekly.
Yeah, just which is good if you're bi-weekly. Anyway, I don't have any rad lib this week, so
Who died?
died.
David Prowse. That's a picture behind Dustin there if you're watching the video.
Yep.
Yes.
David Prowse, who played Darth Vader in every film up until which one?
Jedi.
Oh, he didn't play him after Jedi?
The original trilogy, I think, was the only one that he played.
I guess Darth Vader isn't in any of the other movies. So, duh. Well, no, the end of Revenge of the Sith. No.
That was somebody else.
Is it?
I think so. He was too old, I think, by that point.
Yeah, because he definitely wasn't. The next time you see him really is so is it Solo? No, it was Rogue One.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's digital. It was
all digital.
CGI. I found out a lot about him. He used to be on the BBC. He was the crossing guard PSA guy. Cross on the green, and he wore this little outfit with "Look for the green symbol that says you can go." So that's what he did before he was Darth Vader. He's probably on a bunch of TV shows and movies too, but I didn't really look into him. To me, he's always going to be Darth Vader.
It's funny. To me, he was always before I knew. I mean, I knew the name, but I never put a face to the name. Pre-internet. But I always knew him from Clockwork Orange.
Who did he play in that? Was he one of the Droogs?
No, he's the big guy that's staying at that house that's helping the man in the wheelchair at the end of it. The guy that carries him around at the end.
Oh,
and then they he's the one that
you mean
at the very end.
All right, that guy.
Yeah,
Try the wine.
Try the wine. Thank you, sir.
Well, as long as we're here, spoiler alert, we're going to talk about The Mandalorian. Spoiler alert, The Mandalorian. Rest in peace to David Prowse, the original portrayer of Darth Vader. Now he is in heaven with Chewbacca, who also died this year. Right? Yeah. This year. And Princess Leia and Anakin and Alec Guinness and Yoda.
And Yoda.
R2-D2.
Yeah, R2D is a Force Ghost robot. Everybody watch Mandalorian?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
All right. last week's episode, Jeff said, was the most Star Warsy of all of them. This one is really Star Warsy too, but you have to really be into a lot of non-movie related material. It's all canon, but I took a deep dive over the weekend and watched a bunch of these videos explaining who some of these characters are. But you have to know the Knights of the Old Republic video game. You have to know some of the comic book stuff. You have to know Clone Wars and Rebels. Yeah, to know who some of these people are and the people that he's going to find. Because he's at the end of the episode. We'll go back and talk more about it. But at the end of the episode, Mando and we'll say his name in a second. The child, they have to go to a planet where there's a Jedi temple, not the Jedi temple that Luke was at in those other movies. But anyway, it's very convoluted and crazy, and I'm sure Dustin knows more about it than I do. But hey, we have a name for Baby Yoda, and his name is Grogu. But otherwise, what'd you guys think of that episode?
I thought it was awesome.
Mm-hmm. What'd you like about it?
Samurai battles.
Mm-hmm. Samurai battles. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Rosario Dawson was really good.
Yeah, she was. She was really fucking cool. I love that whole thing. Her character, what is her character's name? Dustin, do you know? Akasa. Yeah, Acacia Cortez. She is bringing socialism to the galaxy. And the Green New Deal to clean up Tatooine. You know, if Tatooine had been more careful, the two suns that it orbits wouldn't have burned up all the rivers and stuff in there. Anyway. I
am not a Rosario Dawson fan, but she obviously looked just like that character, and she did pretty good in that role.
Yeah, I bought that role. I like the white lightsabers, the white dual lightsabers, which I found out how she got those because I'm a dork and spent all weekend on YouTube.
Was from a Sith, didn't she, or something like that?
She quit the Jedi Order because of blah 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 blah. There's all sorts of
stuff. The kyber crystals from a Sith, I think, and they were red originally, but she purified them with the Force to make them white.
Well, the only way you can get a red what are they called again?
Kyber crystal.
Kyber,
yeah.
Kyber crystal is you have to take it from a Jedi and murder them. And then the crystal turns red, which is how Darth Vader got his, according to this comic book that I looked at over the weekend. Right after he's all mad at Palpatine for killing. He thinks Palpatine killed Queen Amidala, whatever the fuck her name, Padme. So he tries to use the Force to get into Palpatine's mind, and Palpatine loses it and beats the shit out of him, and burns him with the lightning. And then he sends him on a mission, and he has to go fight some Jedi and find a crystal so he can make his own lightsaber.
And they brought.
Go ahead, Jeff.
They brought Grand Admiral Thrawn back from not being canon anymore.
Yeah. Oh, he's the purple guy or the blue guy?
Yeah, he's the blue guy. But
he red eyes. Yeah.
He was part of the story that got written out when Disney bought
Dark Horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's all canon again, isn't it?
It's now going to be all canon again because of Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's awesome. Yeah. I heard another rumor that Lucas might be looking to buy back the property because Disney's losing so much money they may sell it back to him. Yeah, so we're going to make more bad movies, and I have a lot of really dumb ideas that we're going to get to. And
I want to see Boba Fett as a 5-year-old.
Yeah, Boba Fett is a 5-year-old. So, Dustin, what are your theories leading you?
Dustin, where are you finding these spoilers? Because you knew they were going to say Baby Yoda's name before the episode.
I put Den of Geeks is a good YouTube channel. I put the link in the last episode show notes, and for that one in particular, he's got his feelers out, and this guy's like usually he knows what's coming up the next week. I don't know if he's got who he's got connections with, but he has a little network that he goes through, and about every week, usually a couple of days before the episode, he'll start putting out these information that he's getting, and from what I've gathered, about 75 to 80% of it's on the nose. I mean, this last week he had everything on the nose, pretty much. But Den of Geeks is a good one. And that's usually most of the stuff with this lately. I've been, just YouTube stuff. Same thing Tim was doing, just do a deep dive and.
Yeah, but I start a video, and if the guy goes, so we're going to talk about Star Wars, I click away.
Yeah, you got to filter yourself through that.
You guys, and one guy I started watching his video, and he had a clip of himself crying when they showed the name. I'm like, oh, no. He cried when he saw Ocasio or Cortez, whatever her name is. And it's like, you cried because you're watching a fucking Star. You're an adult. Why are you crying? It's not even a sad scene. It's like that guy that, watches the first trailers of a new Star Wars movie on YouTube, and then he just screams and cries for half an hour and goes viral. And then he does it again with the next one and with the PS1. It's like a box opening. Ocasio Cortez is here with the lightsabers. Anyway. So, yeah, I wouldn't cry, but I did. What? I know it's Ahsoka. I just like saying Ocasio Cortez. Play around with it here. I'm having fun. Okay, we have to, make sure that there's equity in the galaxy and everybody has enough money. That's the part of the story that I really enjoy, is this is that time when the Empire has been defeated, but they're still all over the place. They're still trying to fuck around with the Outer Rim. The Rebellion, whatever they're called now, they're the New Republic or whatever. They're trying to police as best they can, so they're being dicks, and no one really has control over it. So you're seeing all this cool shit going on, and that's why another reason why I really like Mandalorian is because it's Star Wars. It's got all that cool Mandalorian lore, and it's fun. It's like watching Star Wars when you're younger and being excited about it again. Unlike any of the new movies, I never got excited.
Only one episode left, though.
Well, one episode left. Damn. I wonder if they'll make it to that Jedi planet.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to give a shout out to Mary Burger Fouquet, I think is how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I can't remember if that's how you say her last name, but she made those baby Yoda deviled eggs.
Yeah,
those are cool looking.
Very cool.
Oh, yeah, I love that. Share that stuff all over the place. Now, where did she share them? I forget.
In the Radio Shack.
Share it. Share them everywhere, man. I mean, share them. The Radio Shack is definitely cool. But share them everywhere. We want to share them, and if you put them on Instagram or whatever, I'll add it to our stories and stuff, because that stuff's really, really cool. Did you guys like the tombstone scene?
Yes, I saw him when I was waiting for it. I was waiting for him to say Huckleberry, but I knew they wouldn't do that.
No, because I got no quarrel with you, Lunger. I mean,
he also did the spin.
Yeah,
when he put it back in his thing, that was real Johnny Ringo, I thought.
Well, Johnny,
how old is he? Do you think?
Who, Michael Biehn?
Yeah.
I have. Oh God, he looked old, didn't he?
Yeah, he looked really. It took me a second. I mean, it took me until they did the first close up till I recognized him.
Yeah.
He is
64 years old.
Yeah, he's born in 56.
Did you like the part where Mando stood over and went, "You're no Daisy"? Why, Johnny Ringo, you look like someone just walked over your grave. God, I love that movie.
Mm.
I couldn't find it anywhere, so I watched a bunch of clips of it over the weekend after that Mandalorian. But Michael Baine's a good actor. He always plays like a cool guy. And there was even, you could even feel a little bit of the character he played in Aliens. He was like, I'm just a mercenary, and then he fucked them over. I mean, he's just a good actor.
It's the only way to be sure.
Yeah.
I watched that movie Prospect on, I think it was HBO Max.
What'd you watch?
Prospect. It's like a Mandalorian episode, because it's Mando and the child, and they get stranded on this planet, and it's basically, it's almost like a Mandalorian episode if you're jonesing between episodes.
Is it like that movie with George Papard traveling around space, and they couldn't afford any scenes, so they used scenes from a different space?
No, it had a good budget and everything.
Mm-hmm. When did it come out?
I think last year.
Hatcher, Jay Duplass, Zeke Earl, Chris Caldwell, and of course Pedro Pascal. It will really bother me if he leaves the show. Anybody can talk like that underneath a helmet, but he's perfect for that role. I really like that guy.
They kind of reeled in those rumors about him leaving.
Oh, good.
They're
Good.
saying that it was bullshit.
What do you guys think is going to happen on the season finale?
Is that next week?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, already?
No.
Damn it.
I think he'll get up on the Seeing Stone. He'll set him up there, and then you'll wait, or something big will happen. Yeah.
Think he'll say anything? Because he's 50 years old. He's not a baby. He's 50 years old. He trained at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, and somebody snuck him out before Anakin came and killed all the younglings.
Yeah, and that's the big question now: is who saved him?
Right? Who saved him? And where he's been, and he had to block it all out of his. It's cool how they can take stuff from those subpar Star Wars films and put it into something that's really cool, and then go back and it makes sense. If I'm making any sense what I'm saying, I love how they're doing that on this show. What's up with the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and also they're going to do an Akosa show.
They're saying that this episode could have been a pilot or a spinoff.
I think I'd watch that show. I think her character is interesting. I really do. I love it. This show has made me interested in the franchise again, in Star Wars again. Like, I could see myself getting some of those graphic novels, and reading all those Dark Horse comics, and then the 2-year series or the 1-year series about Vader and what he did in between the end of Sith and the beginning of Star Wars. It just made me want to do it, and it's way more interesting than the last 3 films.
It turns out Jon Favreau was the chosen one.
Yes. Well, here's another thing. You know who were born in the same year? Anakin and Green Goo, or whatever his name is. Grogu and Anakin. So it's like a Harry Potter thing. Like, remember Harry was born the same year as the goofy kid. What's his name?
Weasley?
Dudley?
No. The goofy kid, the one that was at their school. And his parents were both almost killed by, or his parents, he was raised by his grandma. Anyway, it doesn't fucking matter. He ended up being a good-looking kid. He was a dorky-looking kid at the school, and now he's a real handsome guy. You know who I'm talking about, the kid. Anyway, there was confusion as to who would be the chosen one. Was it Harry Potter, or was it this other kid? And so this is kind of like the same thing. Who was going to bring balance to the Force? Was it the Anakin Skywalker, or is it going to be Grey Goo?
Well,
Grogu.
Now,
Ocasio-Cortez.
Anakin, they as far as the canon goes, so he was willed into existence or conceived through the Force. And
Grogu is just like
he's the counterbalance.
Too far fucked, and then Yoda. Who did Yoda fuck? Yoda fucked that chick Jedi that looked like him.
No.
Yaddle. Yeah, he was left out too. I thought that was funny. They talked about Yoda, but they didn't mention
a woman.
Yaddle at all.
Yaddle was a woman.
Oh, was she a woman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Couldn't you tell how beautiful she was?
The long flowing locks of hair. That was about it.
Yeah. And I didn't watch an awful hell of a lot, so I'll go first, and then you guys can go. I'm all caught up on A Teacher, and yes, I did watch it while I was looking at my phone. She's stupid for blaring. I don't understand that scene whatsoever. Steph, you say you're caught up. Are you guys all caught up on this show that watch it?
I haven't watched it.
I got totally sucked into it. Watched all of it.
Yeah, but this most recent episode, Jeff, do you care?
No, go ahead.
So she's drinking with her teacher friend that she met the first day she's there, and she's like, "Teacher, you can't lie to me. I know you're having an affair. You're glowing. I can tell. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it?" She goes, "I'm fucking this kid." What? Nobody would. Why would she tell? Am I wrong on that? Why did she feel compelled to tell this woman?
I don't know. I feel like she seems like she's definitely emotionally stunted.
They showed that in the first episode when she shoplifted.
So it's kind of like she's 30 something, but she's the same age as this kid. In fact, I think the kid's more mature than she is.
Yeah.
And I think they did a good job of portraying that side of it. Why would this teacher do this? Because this happens a lot.
Oh yeah.
So they're showing you a character, a woman like this, and what would be wrong with them that would cause them to do something so stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have to think that he just turned 18. So she started banging him before he turned 18, because this whole episode, the most recent episode, is she takes him away for a weekend for his birthday, and they're in this cabin or whatever. And he does a really good job. This actor, Nick Robinson, plays the character Eric Walker. He does a really good job. He's convincing as being emotionally stunted as a kid that age would be, who was banging somebody much older than he is. Don't you think? Like possessive and jealous of her husband, and you know what I mean?
True, I do think that, but then I also think that he is more mature than her.
Yeah,
the fact that he's like, "What are you doing?" I mean, some of the things that she says, he's like, "What are we doing? What is this?" I mean, like he is in love with her.
And she's just nuts, and she just wants the D.
Yeah, I think that is it. Because, I mean, she's only been with her husband. Just the one guy. And she admits that that's all it's ever been. I just feel like if they want me to feel like this is bad, they should not make it so hot.
Oh, like when he says, take your panties off.
That's the whole thing. They shouldn't have him be like, because he is like a young, swarthy John Mayer type. Whatever, you know, and I could see. And
he's responsible.
I mean, it's wrong. Of course, it's wrong. But they, I feel like the whole point of this, because they'll show like this really hot scene, and they'll go, "If you feel like you need to talk."
Yeah, that thing at the end. If you're having hot sex with your fucking crazy ass teacher, but you need to talk about it, go to this website. I got set up on a blind date with an art teacher once. This is 20 years ago, at least, maybe more, at a school in Gainesville, Georgia. And I went and hung out with her. It was a dance, and she was chaperoning a dance. And I went, and that's where I met her. And, I ended up talking to her. But all night long, these students kept coming up to me, like these jock students, and like, hey, you better be nice to her. I never really went anywhere. I wasn't interested, whatever. About a year later, I found out she was fired and arrested for banging students.
Oh, well, there you go.
So you're right. It's not new. Shit, we had teachers at my high school that were rumored male teachers that were banging, female high school girls. I don't want to say his name because it might not be true, but I don't even know if he's alive or dead. But I mean, that was always the rumor. Oh, no, not him. He didn't. No, come on. 3 significant. 3 significant. Don't forget that number. Avogadro's number. 3 significant. Sorry, Jeff, I couldn't hear it, but I get it.
But I think the difference would be like an election. The portrayal of that. I mean, Tracy Flick. She was the master manipulator in that.
Oh, yes.
It wasn't like you could really feel bad for her that she had being preyed on, because she was such. I mean, I think that's. I don't know. They always make it seem worse when it's the girl and the older teacher, usually, than when it's the guy and the female teacher, But
things worked out for Tracy Flick, though, didn't they? At the end,
yeah, they did.
He's a crossing guard, and she's in Washington D.C. working for a senator.
Well,
he wasn't a crossing guard, was he? He was like a
museum guy. But he was happy.
Yeah,
he was out of the marriage with Fill Me Up, because who wouldn't want that?
Fill me up.
Okay, fill me up. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Fill me up.
Mm-hmm. Well, then he cheated on Fill Me Up with that weird lady who got stung by or he got stung by
her friend. Yeah.
And she felt so guilty she went and told.
Anyway, at the end of when I caught up on the Hulu A Teacher, then it recommended the movie A Teacher that the show is based on.
British?
No.
Oh.
It's still a little indie movie that came out in 2013. So I watched it, and it's a totally different take on it.
Better end?
Much darker, the teacher is fucking, it's not just that she's fucking Looney Tunes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can answer my question. How's the N in it?
Oh, stop.
Is there any SSC?
I don't know about, what is SSC?
Wrong
content.
In the teacher? There's a flash of a bosom. I mean, but it's more
plausible.
It's about like the show. It's about
that show Industry that I talked about last week?
No. Oh, by the way, The listener who the radio who sent me the message saying that she to recommend the show. I said, "Yeah, we read your information." She goes, "Yeah, I heard it. I was mortified." We started talking about the dicks.
I went and watched the entire series though because it was good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it. You know, I'm a pervert. I'll watch it.
Yeah, I like the dominatrix girl.
Of course you do. I tried to watch The Flight Attendant. I don't think I'm going to continue that. So
Me
I
neither.
enjoyed it. It's fucking anxiety on the edge of your seat. Like, what the fuck's happened? What's going on? It was very anxiety inducing.
I don't need anxiety. I already have plenty.
Yeah, I know, but I enjoyed it. It was stressful and
How's the end?
tense. Nah, there wasn't any end yet.
All right,
In the first 3.
Do you feel like
I watch Kaylee Cuoco and anything though.
I feel like but anything I watch her in, I feel like I'm watching Big Bang Theory. Whatever the hell it is she's in, she's the same to me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
She's playing a different character in this.
8 simple rules for being a flight attendant.
Yeah.
I like her. She's, you know.
Well, that's it for me. So whoever wants to go next. I don't really have a stat pick. Max Casella is on Talking Sopranos this week. If you like Max Casella,
I do. I love him.
I love him. He's a good actor. Ira nails his.
He does.
Of him.
Yeah, we talked about everything. I watched that movie Super Intelligence.
I tried to watch that.
It wasn't great. It was okay. It was all. I watched it because it was filmed in Atlanta, and they did a good job of making it look like Seattle, but it was filmed here. Melissa McCarthy movie written by her husband.
Cool.
It was enjoyable, but it wasn't great.
She can make a movie even if it's terrible. Her parts are usually good. I like that puppet movie.
Yeah.
Nobody liked that movie. I loved it. The Dirty Muppets with the cops.
And my stat pick was going to be Mank coming to Netflix on the 4th of December.
What is Mank?
It's the story of Herman Mankiewicz.
Oh, yeah. About Citizen Kane. Yeah, that looks good.
Ben Mankiewicz's grandfather who wrote Citizen Kane.
Did you listen to the Abbott and Costello episode of?
No, I need to.
Yeah, it's really, really good. If you like Abbott and Costello, there were a couple of experts on Gilbert Gottfried's podcast last week. There's John Sebastian this week, but I specifically recommend that Abbott and Costello episode.
I watched the Hillbilly Elegy. Did you watch that?
No, is it good? I heard it was great.
Good?
I liked it. I mean, and there was all kinds of backlash about it. Like,
yeah, they're saying that their performances were like
whiteface
performative or something. I don't know. They weren't saying that they were bad Southern accents and stuff, but they just felt like they were putting on airs.
I felt like it was very West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio. They had that whole thing, especially the fact, he said mama and papa and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of his childhood, whenever he was thinking back, was completely the exact childhood. That's exactly what my childhood was like.
You coming from there don't feel like it was fake?
Not at all. No, It seemed very realistic. And the family, too. I won't ruin it for you. But
watch it.
I liked it, and it has a pretty good ending. It was more uplifting than what you would imagine usually something like that would be. But it was...
I heard it's Nanny White picture against Trump supporters. I can't watch it.
They said that was some of the backlash, though, is that they were pushing a conservative agenda. I have no clue what the hell.
Somebody said they were pushing a conservative. So I got it wrong in my assessment of the criticism.
Yes, that they were pushing
Ron
a
Howard is
conservative
noted
agenda.
right-wing conservatives.
I have no idea because these people are from the Mount Hillbillies that they're. It made no sense. Not once was a political anything brought up. Once
the premise falls on its face immediately because Ron Howard is not going to make a pro-Republican film ever.
It was never even mentioned.
And he directed it, right?
Time. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, please.
So anyway, I thought it was pretty good. The Great British Baking Show season finale. COVID, hell with you. The COVID just ruined who they could get for this show because not that many people are going to commit to just leaving their families for 2 months or whatever. However it was.
6 weeks, yeah.
It was. Yeah, I've never seen shit so close to the finale, and the showstoppers were garbage, total junk. So Yeah, the Holiday Baking Championship has been had a much better crew. So anyway, which it makes me sad because the Christmas one is coming up Friday, and I'm hoping that it's not going to suck, that it's going to be some more of these COVID people.
Have you seen Chopped lately?
Are you talking about the one where they're outside?
Yeah, they're all doing it outside now, and the judges are all like 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
And there's no pantry or anything. They just got to dig shit out of the yard.
Yeah, they're like foraging and crap.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Worms.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Worms, grass, bark.
No, but you can tell COVID caught up to Chopped.
Yeah. And I watched that movie Run on Hulu. That is a cool little, it's like a Misery, like an updated Misery with Sarah Paulson and her daughter. And her daughter's basically the Misery in this, the Jimmy Kahn in this in a way. It's a good fucking movie, man. It's like a fun little evil movie. And the end of it has a cute little twist at the end. You're like, aha.
Cool.
It's pretty good. And now Sugar Rush Christmas. I watched all those very quickly. I was very sad. And my staff pick is The Hardy Boys, December 4th on Hulu.
I have a raging clue.
I liked The Hardy Boys.
Is this the original or a new series?
Sean Cassidy and
Yeah, it's a new series.
Parker Stevenson.
Yeah, I used to watch it all the time when I was a kid. And
Are they going to be in it?
No, I don't. Well, maybe they'll. I didn't
cameo in the first
see that they
episode.
were doing cameos. Maybe they will.
It bothered me when they would show Nancy Drew instead of the Hardy Boys. I liked the Hardy Boys, and then I went and got all the books. I don't remember all those thick books you could get and read.
Yeah, I liked all the little mysteries and I thought the Hardy Boys were the shit. That would be like a book. Sometimes I would get at the bookworm.
Yeah.
Get me a Hardy Boy book.
Hey, I want to see my bookworm. Spike Lee's making a movie about it.
Check that out. What is that on Hulu?
It's on Hulu, December 4th.
Run? Oh, no.
Run's on Hulu as well.
All right.
Run, I think you guys will all like that movie. It's cool.
It's not a biopic of Run DMC, right?
No.
Because I'd watch that.
Run got Stephen King's seal of approval.
Yeah.
He liked it. Because I guess everyone was pushing the Misery point, and he said he enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, you definitely feel the misery.
Why does his son, good one. Why does his son, Joe Hill, not use the name King? And why does he look exactly like him and complete with the weird eyes and the fucked up teeth? Have you noticed that?
Yeah, well, one's genetics and one's pride, I guess. He didn't want to have to live in his dad's shadow.
He wanted to try and sell the book on his own without them knowing Stephen King was his dad.
And he was able to do that.
And he did, yeah. He did that. But yeah, he does look just like him.
He looks like him in Creepshow, doesn't he? He looks just like he's in that series about horror movies that I like to watch.
Eli Roth.
Yeah, the history horror.
Let's see. I watched Mandalorian, Truth Seekers, a couple more episodes of that. It's getting much better. I mean,
I'm behind, but I love it.
I watched Underwater. Kristen Stewart. It's a sci-fi movie where they're drilling in the Marianas Trench.
Yeah,
it's actually pretty good. I thought it would be a little more. It's kind of reminiscent of The Abyss, Alien, any of those, but with the it starts off with right off the bat the place just starts falling apart. So you get thrown into the story immediately. But man, does it take like some weird Lovecraftian turns like towards the end. I mean, it's got probably one of the best underwater creature endings that I've seen in a decade or more. Jay Miller, he's in it as the comedy relief, and of course, but he actually, his character was actually watchable. Usually he gets on my nerves, but I actually enjoyed him. So Underwater was good. Also, I watched Ghosts of War. It's on Prime. It's written and directed by the same guy that did The Butterfly Effect in the 90s with Kelso from the 70s show. Ashton Kutcher, yeah. And that movie, it's the first, but the weird part is this is the first movie that he's made since The Butterfly Effect.
Wow.
And it has a lot of the same kind of twists and turns that the Butterfly Effect had. But this one is set in World War II, kind of a buddy army picture, as far as, a group of guys having a mission that they have to, guard this castle during the, when they're occupying France. And so they're, but it just like the Butterfly Effect, it leads to a third act that you did not see coming whatsoever. It's a good watch. It's hokey, but a fun watch anyway. What else do I watch? The Great British Baking Show. Watched the finale of that. I agree with you. It was crap. I mean, they just it was like, well, it was also the middle of the summer when they were doing it. And every competition they had to do with something that would melt.
Yeah, it was like 1,000 degrees.
Yeah, so everything was just falling apart.
Yeah.
But the kid that won, and I say kid because he is a kid. I think he's the youngest one to win.
And now he's a real boy.
Yeah, yeah. But they stayed there for 6 weeks or something, filming that in a bubble. And his friends didn't even know. His flatmates didn't even know he was on the show. They thought he went to his parents.
Oh,
until
wow.
he called them at the end and told them that he won. Let's see.
Did you watch Sugar Rush though, Dustin?
Honestly, I tried watching it.
Did do it for you?
I couldn't get past the judges. I mean, they just all seemed like they were just like, okay, we're here for this. And this is how we're going to do it. And me and my wife both looked at each other, and she was like, I just can't do it. I was like, okay.
All right, fair enough.
Let's see. My staff pick is Life After the Navigator. It's a documentary about Joey Kramer, the kid from Flight of the Navigator. And it kind of goes through his life after that movie. It was supposed to be, a big Disney star, and he ended up going on a roller coaster ride with drugs and jail and everything else. And so that documentary comes out on December 9th on VOD.
Cool.
Oh.
All right. Well, guys, thank you all, three of you. Don't forget, if you want to be on the show with us, or we may even turn it into a party. I haven't decided yet, but we do want to have some interaction, some real good, not the Spike Lee Viagra interaction, but you know what I'm talking about. We're going to be doing that on the 14th, which is a Monday. You need to be available between 7:15 and 9 p.m. And just like I said, go to Patreon. If you're a patron, go to patreon.com/Tim Andrews. Send us a message. And also check out our store. We have all sorts of new merchandise, shirts, masks, and whatnot. And on the 21st, that week, we'll be doing Who Died 2020. So that'll about do it for this week. Until next week, please.
Can I say?
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I just wanted to say my dog thing, because I forgot to do it last week.
Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to say my little pit bull puppy, she will be ready for adoption here in a couple of weeks. She's getting spayed and her fur is all grown back, and she's a little delight, Darla.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are in the market, if you're going to be home for Christmas or something or anything like that,
you're not going anywhere. Trust me.
Not going anywhere.
Even coming to your house.
If you just want to temporary foster a dog for a couple of weeks, because we have all kinds of people that are going out of town, and we need people just to babysit their foster dog for a week.
Do it.
So you got an out. So BarkvilleDogRescue.org. We could really use your help. It would be great. We'd really appreciate it.
Just don't play with it and break your leg or your foot.
I don't know what's going on. I think people are fighting dogs like crazy right now.
Is that what happened to Joe Biden? He was fighting with his dog. That's how he broke his leg. He was playing with his dog.
That's the story.
Steph broke her ankle too.
That is true. I rolled down the driveway with those dogs. They'll get them every time. But anyway, BarkvilleDogRescue.org.
BarkvilleDogRescue.org.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Stephanie. Keep it K9. And until next week, keep it canon. Looking at you, Star Wars.